What's going on, everybody? We're gonna get this show started. As we get ready, as more of you get ready to come on in, we're gonna get ready to talk the Texans because they're coming to town, and we need to take these jokers down. So we're gonna get ready to get started in about 30 seconds. Let everybody get in, and we're gonna get the show started in just a bit. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome in to TNT Tonight, Titans and Truth. I am your host, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. And we are going to have a very, very fun episode for you tonight as we get ready for what I like to call the Battle of the South, as the Tennessee Titans get ready to take on the Houston Texans. And, you know, this game is very important. I know there was some article where I think it was on Titan Sized where they were saying this could be an opportunity to rest players, which Vrabel's not going to do that because, number one, this is a division game, and two, we ain't won nothing yet. So resting players, not a good idea despite all the injuries that we have to deal with. So we got to keep it pushing. We got to keep it moving. And quickly, before we do get into the Texan game, let's go ahead and first off pay a couple of bills. As you remember, make sure that you share this show out. Make sure you share it out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Make sure y'all smash that like button for me. Hopefully, again, we can get around, I would say, 60 likes tonight. And get a bunch of you in here. Let's try to get about 75, 80 people in here. That way we can have some fun because, hey, this show is not just about me. It's about you. So we're going to have some fun all together and talking about this game that's coming up because this is a very serious game we got. Also, if you want some TNT swag, hit me up for that. And I'll get with my friend Miss Latoya on the T-shirts, whether you want the baby blue or the navy blue. Also, if you want a Titans and Truth hat, hit me up or hit my guy up at Out the Crib Customs on Instagram, as you see here at out_the_crib_customs. And if you want, you can also hit me up as well. You can get a hat just like this one as well. So definitely hit me up if you want that. I can get you price information and everything with that. And I see a lot of people are clamoring on in as we get ready to get started. Warrior 2411 says we take him down. Zach says tighten up. What's up? Kent, what's up? It was good to see you this weekend. Titan Overdrive, what's going on with you? Lee Hillis put Davis Mills in the mud. Well, actually, it'll be Tyrod Taylor that's going to be starting this game. Miss Mims, what's going on? Bryce says, how you feeling after a Titan win? Always feels good after a Titan win. Valtoria, what's up? Get right week for offense, no rest. I agree. I definitely agree. Houston in a pile of mud in the swamp. Wow. Let's see. Lee says, I came across a stat. Titans win the next two games and Colts lose their next two. We should win the division. Very interesting. We'll definitely have to see about that. Let's see. Titan Tiger says, all right, everything cool in Titan Nation. Titans win another close one. Ian, what's up? And shout out to Ian. He wore his Titans of Truth hat, the navy blue, out to L.A. For the game against the Rams. So I appreciate that. B. Yo says, hope we can get our running game going. This is definitely a get-right game for the Tennessee Titans. I think this is a game that we need to make sure we get some things together because not overlooking the Texans at all. We got to take this game extremely seriously. And I think Coach Vrabel, Mike Vrabel mentioned that as there was a lack of urgency in that second half on all sides of the ball. So he's definitely emphasizing urgency as in staying in attack mode and not letting up. So I definitely like that. Again, we defeated the Saints 23-21. We're 8-2 on the year. And as you can see, I'm going to bring up the standings. The Titans are in first place in the AFC all by themselves at 8-2. We're essentially 2 games ahead of Buffalo because we're on the tiebreaker. They're at 6-3. Baltimore 6-3. Kansas City has climbed back up to 6-4. And then the wild cards right now, Pittsburgh at 5-3-1. New England, the team that we're going to have to face in a couple of weeks, who is surging at 6-4. And then the Chargers at 5-4, who is kind of slipping a little bit for what we're seeing. So that's something that we got to be mindful of. We still got a lot of football left to be played in this situation. So we can't rest on our laurels. We can't take our foot off the gas at all. So that's something that we have to do. Let's see. Yeah, Let's Tighten Up podcast definitely received some sad news here in the M-Town with the just the senseless violence and the death of Memphis rapper Young Dolph, who was shot and killed earlier today. Just an extremely sad story. I'm really, just upset over the crime that's in our city of Memphis. And I know crime is everywhere, as some people will say, but it's especially big here. And I'm not really going to go a whole lot on that, but I just hate that happen. I really do. I just hate a lot of the crime that's happened, especially here. I know there's some crime in Nashville and there are crimes everywhere, but it's just, it's just sad. I hate that that's been going on. Let's see. Lee Hiller said, Mike Keith stated we got a chance to win the division before the bye week. We'll have to see if that can happen. And, we need to go in and take care of the division and then go ahead and go for that number 1 seed. So that's something we got to take care of. Courtney says, got to be careful. We have trouble with mobile quarterbacks. That's true. Casey is getting hyped up again, Tighten Up. Pod, you're right about that. The city real sad and quiet today. Yeah. It's just, that was just a sad story that I heard. Let's see. Steve Crowder says, Colts Bill, crucial game to watch. Titans beat the Texans. This game will show whether the Titans will improve their AFC South to number 1 seed. Yeah, that's going to be important, but we got to take care of our business first. So let's get into the tight news of the day that happened. And that is, I know Bobby Hart got waived and Amani Bledsoe got cut, but now they been re-signed back to the practice squad. And stuff like that. And obviously, tight end Tommy Hudson is now designated to return from IR. Derek Roberson is now back on the active roster off of IR. Of course, Des Fitzpatrick not only was elevated to the main roster from the practice squad, he is now on the active roster going forward. Defensive lineman Kyle Petco was signed to the active roster today. And Dylan Cole, who had that big hit on the kickoff that caused the fumble that to open the second half, he's now on the active roster as well right now. So you make plays, you get rewarded for that. So, that's something that, we have to I'll be thankful for. And Miss Mims with her optimism yet again. More energy. I mean, Titans are bringing it, but you can't lax off. You can't let off. And I think in that second half against the Saints, they did kind of let off a bit on both sides of the ball and allow them to get back in the game. So we have to be able to control the game from start to finish. That is true. Stanley comes and says, am I the only one that's given up on Ferk? So I'd rather run with Pruitt at tight end. I've said it earlier this year that I think Michael Pruitt is the number one tight end on this team. And, you know, obviously there is some issue at tight end because now they're bringing Tommy Hudson, trying to bring him back. I know they liked him, early on. He played against Seattle. He hasn't played since that Seattle game. Had made some nice plays, but, really, got hurt and hadn't been playing since. So now they're trying to bring him back. Maybe he can provide a spark because Anthony Ferkser, I think he's done. Ferkser is just a one-trick pony. He can catch a few passes here and there, which he hasn't really done much of that. And Michael Pruitt and Jeff Swaim have done the dirty work. Jeff Swaim has really come up some, since a lot of us was kind of dumping him, I would say about a month ago, and he's come back and has done pretty well. Paulie D said Dupree day-to-day. Yeah, he's day-to-day right now. They're still trying to find out the severity of this abdomen injury and things like that. So they're trying to find out what's going on with that exactly. But right now they're saying day-to-day. Steven says, glad that Tommy Hudson's designated to return. Need more weapons. We don't know about Dupree. David Long, it was a walkthrough earlier today. And I'm going to get to the injury report in a minute. And Kid saying offense needs to improve to take pressure off the defense. And we're definitely going to talk about that. But here is from the practice today. This is the injury report that we have. And, you got guys like Nate Davis. You got Bud Dupree. Now, Nate Davis is back in concussion protocol. I'm not sure exactly what happened with him in the game against the Saints, but he's back in concussion protocol again. So, Nate Davis has just had a horrible year so far, and it doesn't look like there's an end in sight as far as his problems. Dupree now says knee, but it's actually abdomen, so they're trying to monitor that. Chris Jackson, who had a really rough day, foot injury, did not practice. David Long still dealing with a hamstring. And then Jeremy McNichols is in concussion protocol now as well, and he did not practice today. So if he's not able to go, that gives more attention to Foreman and to Adrian Peterson a little bit more. And, Mekhi Sargent is on the practice squad of the Rams. So, if we tried to go sneak him up, we'd have to put him on the main roster. So we'll have to see what comes of that as far as with Jeremy McNichols is concerned. Rashaan Evans and Harold Landry were limited but did practice or at least participated in the walkthrough along with Maben, Petco, Simmons, and Tier Tart. So, Taylor Wan looks like he was a full go. The rest of the offensive line, full go. AJ, full go with that. So that's pretty good there. With the Texans, don't see a whole lot of guys. Looks like a lot of guys are limited and things like that. So not really anything to monitor there. But that's kind of the injury report that we have, at least from Wednesday, in according to that. But we're definitely got to see where we're at come Thursday and Friday when they really ratchet up. So now, and and I also saw that Terry McCormick was trying to throw some names out for the tight defense and for the front four of what names could be. And, I tweeted back at him and put our suggestions in of Music City Mayhem or Nashville Nasty as well. So I did put that in a response to him, and I see somebody said the Music City Monstars. Not bad. That's not a bad one either. The Monstars. I can kind of get down on that. So I know a lot of people are looking at like the Four Horsemen, or at least at the Fearsome Four, things like that. But let's see. Terry McCormick put out, some ideas, and he just said a couple off the top of his head was Blue Crush, Blue Shield, as in reference to like the insurance company Blue Cross Blue Shield, the Music City Hits, Music City Hits, excuse me. The one that I voted on was Two Tone Takedown, and the one that seemed to get the most votes so far is the Vrabel Stable, which is pretty much very interesting. Steve Crowder said, "Welcome to Space Jam." Let's see. Ian says, Mike Herndon on Twitter came up with the Broadway Bullies. I kind of like that one too. I can kind of get down with the Broadway Bullies. Paulie D says the Musac City Militia. I don't know. A lot of people may have some trouble pronouncing that. Music City Militia. I could go for that, but I see what you're saying. Musac City Militia. I can kind of see where you're going with that. So we'll see what the players kind of go with. I think those are some things that Terry McCormick is going to throw out, and some other people probably throw out to the guys and see what they think of when it comes to that. And I'm kind of down with that, so that's pretty cool. But let's get into what we like to call our weekly stock up, stock down. Let's get into that, and that, of course, would lead into the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week and the Dunce of the Day. So, in getting your nominations in for Star of the Week and Dunce of the Day, who do you feel your stock is rising on, and who do you feel your stock is falling on that? So let me get your thoughts on that. Tennessee Titans Logic, Broadway Bullies is nice. Yeah, I think it's nice too. Dashville Tube says, when Henry coming back? It's going to be a while. He's only been gone for about 2 weeks, and, still got at least another 4 weeks to go before we can find out, how much longer. Remember, it's a 6 to 10 week injury. So right now, for the foreseeable future, at least until closer to the end of the year, we ain't going to have the king for a while. Zach Carpenter, the Fantastic Four. I do like that. Josh says, stock up. Marcus Johnson, stock down. Chris Jackson. I can get down with that. Al Pierce, Dunce, Keyshawn. And we're going to definitely get into that, because that clown had some more ridiculous stuff to say. That was, I played some of it during post game, during TNT post game. So if you haven't heard the stupidity of Keyshawn Johnson, you're unfortunately, we're going to have to, I really don't want to bore your ears with his stupidity. I think I'm going to pass on that, but I will mention what was talked about. Let's see. Yeah, Tennessee Titan Logic, Marcus Johnson for sure. Stock up, Fulton County Jail, as in Christian Fulton. Let's see. Ms. Bennett says stock up, Daquan Jones, Dunce of the Day, the Clown, Keyshawn. Let's see. Shout out to Lee. Going to be on with Titan Rossi tomorrow, so that's going to be cool. Y'all basically got to tune into that. Yeah, Jerome Powell said you can hear the hate in his voice. You know it. Let's see. Josh says 10 weeks should be week 18 or during hopefully our first round bye, or week 14, which doesn't sound realistic. I think I would probably say about week 16. That's about 8 weeks. I think will probably be good. I don't mind the two-tone blue wrecking crew. I don't mind that. 4 is wrong. We run a 3-4. How about the Magnificent 7? Well, Order Struck, here's the thing about that. Most of our pressure has come from the front 4. The most of our pressure has come without blitzing from Landry, Autry, Simmons, and Dupree. That's where our pressure is coming from. That's why a lot of people are really looking at the 4 instead of, yes, we theoretically run a 3-4, but the majority of our pressure comes with just 4 down linemen. So that's why that's why a lot of people are saying that. That's something that, that we have to take into account. And Josh said, let's wait and see. We're not doctors. I agree. We're not doctors. We don't know. So, we'll just have to see what happens in his recovery. Paulie D says, stock down Ferkser. Definitely. Jerome says, tighten up that like button. Yes, please do, y'all. We look like we have about 36 people in. Let's keep that going. And everything. So I appreciate everybody coming on in. Let me see. I'm just making sure that everything's all right. Give me just a second, y'all. But we're going to keep. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulty there, but let's keep that going. Let's see. Tight up says stock down. Chris Jackson, stock up. Marcus Johnson, stock down. Offense in the second half. Stock down. Saffold. Something don't look right with him from Zach. Here's my stock up. My stock up is right here. Definitely Daquan Jones getting his first career sack, and he's made a few plays here and there on the defensive line, so I got to be impressed with what he's done. Obviously, Marcus Johnson, who had a very, very big day, 5 catches, 100 yards on the game, including a big 50-yard reception. You got to give Fat Randy Bullock some love. He's been pretty much automatic all year long. And I can't believe I'm doing this. And I know Lee Hillis is going to enjoy this particular part, but I owe a little bit of an apology to Monty Rice. I do. I owe Monty Rice an apology because there was a time that I hated the Monty Rice pick. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. And I thought it was one of the worst picks that, we could have possibly had. I did not like it. I thought it was a busted pick. And I'm trying to kind of see if I can find the video from draft night so that I can play it for you. So let's see if I can pull up the Monty Rice selection and everything. So thank y'all for sticking with me. Obviously, we having some. I'm having a small piece of technical difficulty, but we're working through it. Let me see. I'm trying to here we go. I'm gonna play for y'all from draft night.
And people are starting not to trust J-Rob anymore. I understand it. I'm slowly losing trust in him right now. Like, I'm getting to the point where it's like firings of Downing and his ego cost us a couple of games last year.
So this is Lee Hillis and some other guys.
And Allen, who did a good, we really don't have.
I did want to go though.
There it is.
Wait, so his dad was Alex Moblin?
I was trying to find where I actually went completely off, and I'm trying to find out where I went off about the Monty Rice pick, and it's I went off. I was ticked off. I was upset. I thought it was one of the dumbest picks of all time. I thought J-Rob was dumb for making that pick. So in a way, I owe Monty Rice an apology, because Monty Rice has been actually pretty solid. I can't lie. He's been solid. So Monty Rice, my bad. I'm sorry. Please continue to improve and keep going. And obviously, Tighten Up Pod is calling me out on it, because he was there. He was there as a guest on draft night. He heard my rant. Tighten Up Pod, feel free to comment and fill in everybody on what I said. So, yeah, I kind of went off. I did. Lee says, Titan Ross has a secret source saying that Henry is recovering well. Well, you do. Derrick Henry's going to attack it hard. I will not be at the game Sunday. I have some things to take care of, and the travel has killed me the last few weeks. So, no, I'm not going to be at the game this week. But I will try to make the Jaguars game. So, stop all that, Steven. Stop all that. Dylan Cole deserves major praise. Power Hour. What's up, Power Hour? Check him out, too. We had a great show the last time I was on with him. We had a very good show. Definitely shout out to the Power Hour. But, yes, I won't say anything bad about Monty Rice. Because he's played well in spot duty. And Steve Carter says, I was at my angriest when the Titans drafted Dylan Radunz and Monty Rice. I wasn't mad at the Dylan Radunz pick, because I knew we needed a tackle pretty early. We had to make up for the dumb pick of Isaiah Wilson. So I knew we were going to have to pick somebody, and Dylan Radunz was one of the better ones left that I thought would be good. And I just think with coaching, I think they've sent them the wrong way. They should have trained him at tackle on either the right side or the left side, and not try to switch him to guard. And I think that's where some problems are. I think they're trying to play him at guard when he's really a tackle. Sometimes you cannot try to fit a square peg into a round hole. Don't do that. Reggie says, unlike the clowns in national media, you're at least willing to admit that you're wrong. Hey, I'm okay with being wrong sometimes. It happens. It definitely happens. I make mistakes, and again, y'all know the show, Titans and Truth. And I tell the truth. And if I make a mistake, if I'm wrong, I either call myself out on it, or y'all call me out on it. So, that's the thing. If I make a mistake, hey, hold me accountable, which is something a lot of national media do not do for themselves. Well, Ms. Mims, you should go back and watch that draft video. Even though it is a few hours, Go back and watch that draft video. We did the first round, and then we did the second and third round. It was actually pretty fun. I actually had a good time doing that. So, stock down right quick. Chris Jackson had a bad game this week. A.J. Brown, I kept him on this list, really not necessarily because of something that he did, but it's the fact he needs more targets. So I kind of put that on Todd Downing. And really, I should have put Todd Downing on this list because I really did not like the play calling in the second half, as someone has mentioned. Kendall Lamb stinks because the second Orwan went down with cramps, Kendall Lamb comes in and immediately gives up a sack. And then Nate Davis. Nate Davis has not been good all year. And that's a problem. That is a huge problem. And he needs to get his act together and stop playing around. Because his trajectory is supposed to go up, being close to being a Pro Bowl caliber right guard, and he's just not there yet. So, I love this. Reggie Smith says, it's amazing how Cal Turd and Stephen A-Hole are high on us now without admitting how wrong they were before. I mean, Cowherd kind of has to admit that he messed up because all he did was pick the Colts the entire offseason. Even with the additions we made, even with Julio Jones, he still wants the Colts. He's a Colts homer. And then Stephen A, on the other hand, he kind of admitted his mistake, but he kind of did not. And I will probably lean more towards so he did not. He's like that player in spades. He's like that player in spades that reneged, and really in a lot of ways he reneged and he got caught. He tried to rebut what he was saying. He was trying to kind of change what he was saying. He kind of got caught. Although Michael Irvin was the one that really should have been. Michael Irvin's the one that really should have been called out and Stephen A should have turned it right back on him and been like, hey, don't be coming off on me. You said the same thing too. That's what Stephen A should have done. And then, they acted all high on us before, but they really don't have a choice. They have to be high on us because we're playing good ball. Excuse me. We're playing good ball, so they have to be high on us now. They have no choice. And so, national media, as far as I'm concerned, we don't need their respect. And as far as the clown is concerned, which we'll get to, I don't even want his respect because he's a joke. He's a joke. Plain and simple. And so, now let's quickly go into the two-tone blue star of the week. And in my honest opinion, there's really only, I would say, 3 logical choices. Either Marcus Johnson, Big Jeff, and I'm trying to think. I thought I had one more. And Dylan Cole. That's the obvious 3. And I think it's a pretty easy decision on who the two-tone blue star of the week is, and I'm not even going to waste any time. It is big play Marcus Johnson. 5 catches, 100 yards. And Nick Westbrook-Akina even was kind of upset that he didn't pick up the block downfield. He felt like if he had picked up the block, he would have scored on that. And, I could tell he was trying to get Marcus Johnson. Tannehill was trying to get Marcus Johnson in the end zone. I can kind of tell with that. And Dylan Cole definitely deserves an honorable mention because that was a big play. Second half opening kickoff. Looks like the Saints are going to get the ball. Dylan Cole pops it free, and he doesn't even have to turn around and take a look at who recovered the ball. He like, I know we got it. And he was just stoked by it. And it's a big play. You know, you got to sometimes have some big plays from special teams that can help turn the game. And that was a big one because we were up 13-6. We take a touchdown, go up 20-6 because of that. And so, shout out to Dylan Cole. Big Jeff definitely deserves praise. He has 7.5 sacks, 5 in the last 2 games. And then, of course, Harold Landry, shout out to him. First Titan player since Brian Orakpo in 2016 to notch double-digit sacks. He's at 10. He's having a career year. J-Rob, pay that man. Pay that man his money. And I think Harold Landry deserves a nice contract either before the end of this year or before the offseason begins, and I think they'll get it done. I think Harold Landry wants to stick around. But when there is a star of the week, there's always a dunce of the day. And I want to see who do y'all have as the dunce of the day. And there could be quite a few nominees for that. Chris Jackson could be a nominee. Kendall Lamb could be a nominee. I would say Todd Downing, maybe even Shane Bowen, because the pressure kind of let up a bit in the second half. They didn't keep the foot on the gas. Excuse me. I mean, dare I say even Adrian Peterson could be a dunce of the day nominee. I mean, he only had 8 carries, 21 yards, didn't really do much. I mean, Adrian Peterson looks a little slow. Now, much to the credit on the offense, on the running game, we were facing 2 of the best fronts in the league. You know, both of those teams pretty darn good against the run. I believe the Rams were top 10 and Saints were number 1 against the run. So I could give a little leeway to that. But there's definitely one more that could definitely deserve the dunce of the day nominee. And I think I know where we're going with that. Jameson says, tighten up. Okay, sorry I got here late. Hey, you here? D09, what's up? Now, Cole didn't make the touchdown, but he basically started it. How to give some love to Christian Fulton. Fulton came back and did really well. Came back and did very well. Franchise record is Elvin Bethea with 17. All right, Lee dropping some knowledge for us. I can see that. Ms. Bibbs saying pay Landry. I agree. Courtney Jones saying Janoris Jenkins. Well, you know what? I didn't really have to think about Janoris Jenkins very much. You know, he didn't do too bad. He wasn't horrible. Not as horrible as Chris Jackson, but Lee said dunce of the day, Lamb. First through with costly penalties. Whoever started the entire tickle monster hoopla. I don't know who started that. Cody Jones says Foreman did his thing, and I agree. Foreman, I think, is getting better. I think he could be the lead back. As far as the Titan player is concerned, I think my dunce of the day kind of has to go to, I'm going to go with Chris Jackson. Kendall Lamb is sorry. I agree. But Chris Jackson had a really, really bad game. And he got picked on often. Often he got picked on. And just was giving up play after play. But the real dunce of the day has got to be the biggest Titan hater of all time. And that is one of the more selfish players in all of the NFL. And that would be the one and only Meeshawn Johnson. I don't even call him Keyshawn. He's Meeshawn because he he's a clown, as everybody has deemed him. And I'm trying to see if I can quickly find the footage that shows how ridiculous this fool is. And honestly, another guy that deserves some criticism is Dan Orlovsky, who was a career backup and barely won in Detroit. Rookie record was 14.5. That was by Javon, by Big Freak. But you're saying the franchise record, so we got to include Oilers, is 17. I'm trying to see if I can figure. I'm trying to, unfortunately, pull up this dummy's comment. Now, I'm going to start with good comment, and it's coming from J. Will.
Them beating the teams that they just beat. They're a good football team. They have
really good, and you're going to have your fastball, and everything's going to
Hold on, y'all.
click in. And
ugly. Is every game going to be perfect? No, but I feel like yesterday watching this game, there was so much hate spewed on the Titans about all the things that went against the Saints for them not to win the games, instead of just giving the Titans the respect that they deserve for them beating the teams that they just beat. They've gone on an incredible run. I know that you may not look at the ceiling to be as high without Derrick Henry, but damn, just put some respect on the work that the Titans.
And that was from J. Will. J. Will actually giving us love. J. Will is like, hey, put some respect on this team's name. Look at the teams that they've beaten. And then Max came back, and here, I'm going to go ahead and play the whole clip.
Just because they beat the Bills, Chiefs, Colts, Rams, and Saints in consecutive weeks. You want us to give them credit? Jay, what you're missing is this. We don't want to give the Titans credit. We want to talk about the Cowboys, right? That's what.
And see, I know Max was kind of saying that, being sarcastic. He's like, hey, I know the rest of the world don't want to do that because they want to talk about the Cowboys. But he's like, they beating the teams they beat. And now, here comes the village idiot.
But they don't win that game.
Yeah, then they're 4-1 over those 5
So
games.
you look at it, you go, call win against them. The win is a win is a win. No matter what the record says, you win the game. You win the game.
Yeah,
That's what it's about. If Josh Allen just puts his foot in the ground and score, man,
But he
they
didn't.
don't win that game.
But he didn't.
I know, I understand that, but they don't win that game.
Yeah, then they're 4-1 over those 5
So
games.
you look at it, you go, call win against them. The quarterback play, Trevor Siemian, mixed in with a little heel, no Alvin Kamara. It's just like, I get it, but from a long-term solution, I don't think
You're not
that
letting the W
sway
you going forward for
Hell
a
no.
prediction that you think, like, it's all about matchups.
Yeah, but that 8-2, if you gave that 8-2 to some team, some other, like if I said that's 8-2 on Kansas City, then I would feel like it's real.
But Arizona, what's Arizona's record?
That's why. Consecutive
Thank
weeks.
you.
You want us to give them credit? Jay, what you're missing is this. We don't want to give the Titans credit. We want to talk about the Cowboys, right? That's what you're missing in all this.
8-2.
Huh?
They're 8-2.
Yeah.
They're not a real 8-2 football team.
See, that's what we go down.
They just
We
not-
go down
they're
the
not
line.
a real
How could
baseball
they not?
team.
How could they not be a real 8-2 football team?
I'm just
Chiefs.
saying they're not a real 8-2 team. Now,
Key, they just.
Okay. I am not going to waste any more of your ears on this stupid mess that he was saying. And I think it's pathetic. And he even tweeted out to Buck Rising. He basically said, I don't watch them play. So he admitted that he doesn't even watch the Tennessee Titans play and is just like spewing all this hate on this football team without actually watching the game. And Jay Will and Max are trying to school this fool, this idiot. And, with Keyshawn, he's not going to get it. So, Keyshawn,
You know what? You just made the list. Oh, no.
that's what happened. Keyshawn, you just made the list, you stupid idiot. Because the fact of the matter is, how are the Tennessee Titans not a real 8-2 football team? They're 8-2. They beat the Jags. They beat the Bills. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Colts. They beat the Rams. They beat the Saints. They're beating every team that's being put in front of them so far. Yes, we lost to the Jets. Bengals lost to the Jets. Bills lost to the Jags. Rams just lost to the 49ers in blowout fashion, mind you. So, and Baltimore lost to the Dolphins. So, yes, Keyshawn is definitely the dunce of the day, maybe even the dunce of the year. And then Dan Orlovsky, not too far behind, because on Get Up, Mike Greenberg asked the question is, are the Titans the true number one seed? And before the question even gets finished being asked, here's Dan Orlovsky shaking his head like he didn't even give the question a chance to breathe before he's just going to shoot us down. So, those guys are idiots. And Josh says that the Titans never had two players with double-digit sacks. Not since they became the Titans. And they're close to doing that because Big Jeff is 2.5 sacks away from doing that. And Al Pierce, like, you hit it out the park. Bichon loser. And he is. He is definitely a loser. Yeah, and it is Bichon because, the dude wrote a book called Get Me the Damn Ball. If that ain't more selfish, what is? If that ain't Keyshawn is a me guy, not a we guy. Keyshawn is a me first player, not a team first player. He's never been that. Now, Orlovsky said the roughing the passer call was a bad call, and that may be the reason we get the number one seed. No, that would be stupid too. Now, I agree. Maybe that roughing the passer call shouldn't have been called, but you know what? Hey, it was called. Get over it. So, Diane says, shout out to Max and J. Will. Yeah, Keyshawn needs to shut his pie hole. He do. Yeah, and I saw the video with Stephen A with his top 5 list, got the Titans at number 2. And of course, me, Sean, his dumb ass again, just throwing more hate on us, talking about, I would have put this team ahead of the Titans. Why you got the Titans at 2? I'm like, you're not going to change Keyshawn, ladies and gentlemen. Me, Sean, is always going to be, once a hater, always a hater. And as Cat Williams would always say, haters are not born. Haters are made. And Keyshawn is a made hater of the Tennessee Titans. So, I could care less. And I agree with you, Josh. Even if Josh Allen doesn't slip, I still think Jeff Simmons stops him still. So, it really wouldn't matter. So, and I like that for Power Hour. He says, Parcells said it. You are what your record says. We're 8-2. So our record said we're 8-2. We're 8-2. And I know a lot of people think that we can't win without Derrick Henry, but aren't we proving that we can win without Derrick Henry? We're trying to find other ways. Yes, the offense does need to pick it up. I agree. And yeah, I agree with Kent. We don't need the media to keep hyping us up because you know what? That's just fine. Keep hating on us. You know? So I agree with that. We want to meet Baltimore to set the record straight. I wouldn't mind. Respect is earned, not given. And we've earned our respect. And I think we've earned it, so everybody else better give it too, but that's okay. So, and John, as Al Davis says, just win, baby, win. Plain and simple. I know I answered a few pick my brain questions, but if you got a couple more, let's do that because we're going to try to get through the rest of the show. Because I know I've taught y'all heads off for quite some time, but let's get to pick my brain. All right, y'all, let's pick my brain time. I'm going to get a couple of questions from everybody. So let's see. Lee said, would you pick up Le'Veon Bell? That's a good question. I'm going to say right now, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind seeing what we have with Foreman and Peterson in this game. Now, I will agree, if we can't run the ball well in this game against the Texans, who has the 31st ranked run defense, then yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a problem. Gabriel Ransom says, rest in peace, young Dolph. I agree. Yeah, definitely keep adding fuel to the fire. I agree. Ken Wood said, do you think we should have gotten a better backup quarterback just in case something happens to Tannehill? I mean, I thought we should have, but, you know, Matt Barkley, I wanted Matt Barkley to win the job in the preseason, but I think against the Bears, he kind of had a pretty bad showing, which they trust Logan Woodside. I mean, you know, Vrabel has his certain players that he just, loves to the death. Like he will die for Cam Batson. He will die for Logan Woodside. Not literally, but I'm just saying, y'all know how he said that line, look, I would cut off my own to win a Super Bowl. He will go and die on a hill for Cam Batson or for Logan Woodside and some of these no-name guys who some have done well, you know? So it's something like that. Power Hour said, will people hate the new Ghostbusters because it would never live up to the expectation of the original films? Or are people afraid of it that they may like it more than the original? I don't know. I'm going to check out the new Ghostbusters. I do want to see it and see how, it is. I mean, it's a different movie. It's not a remake. It is, it's like 15, 20 years later. And I believe it was somebody's son is one of the Ghostbusters, found Ecto-1. So I got to see it. I definitely have to see it and everything. So I got to definitely check that out. And then I can judge it. Butchie Praise on Facebook sent me one a few days ago. He said, there's a scenario where the Titans could clinch the number 1 seed after week 14 with 4 games remaining. If that happens, how much do we play the starters the remaining 4 games? I don't want to really look too far ahead just yet. I would say let's get the division first. Let's take it a step at a time. Let's take care of the Texans first. Then we get the Patriots. Let's take care of them. Let's take care of the division first. Then we work our way to the number 1 seed. But let's get the division first, and let's keep this train rolling. Leah says, knock on wood if you're with me. Jenna Comia, tighten up. Let's go. Welcome in. Let's see. Exactly. I'm like this. You keep hating on us, we'll just keep winning. I agree. Cam Batson's on IR. He's out for the season. He got hurt in the Bills game. Super Bowl pick. Titans against whoever. I don't care. If it's the Rams, we'll beat them again. I wouldn't mind the Packers. I think that would be good competition for us. I wouldn't mind getting some vengeance on Arizona and play them again. So we'll definitely have to see. Can't really make a good favorite just yet. And yes, Josh said, I hope we route the Texans Sunday in honor of Jeff Fisher and Floyd Reese. And that's right. Both Jeff Fisher and the late, great GM Floyd Reese will be inducted into the new Titans Ring of Honor this coming Sunday. So I hate I won't be there for that, but an esteemed honor, well-deserved for those two gentlemen who have been a staple, to this organization. Now, we do have one little problem in this game. Rain is in the forecast. Rain is very much in the forecast for Sunday right now. Right now, there is a 69% chance of rain. Rain showers in the morning will evolve into a more steady rain in the afternoon. Rainfall near 1/4 inch. So it may not be a bunch of rain, but it's going to be a little bit of rain, maybe about 1/4 inch of rain. So that is something to take into consideration, which will lead me to one of my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory that we'll talk about later. We didn't get to 8-2 beating up on bad teams. We beat the media favorites. Agreed. We didn't, unlike some other teams who beat some cupcakes, we beat real good teams. Now, Ms. Mims saying the question is, when the Titans win all their games from this month, December and January, if the playoff game will be in Nashville again. I mean, yes. If the Titans lock up the number 1 seed, road goes through Nashville to get to the Super Bowl. And I think we're going to be hosting a playoff game anyway. Now, again, some of y'all have some very lofty expectations. A lot of y'all are getting lofty expectations thinking the Titans are just going to run through it and go 15-2. Do not underestimate this Texan team. They want to play spoiler. The Patriot game is going to be a tough football game because they're playing really good football right now. So don't discredit them. Don't discredit Pittsburgh. And, don't think too far ahead yet. Let's just make it 1-0 each week. I think no disrespect, but I think a lot of y'all are getting ahead of yourselves a little bit. And I like that. I love the confidence. I do. But we got to take it 1 week at a time, y'all. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay? So, again, be optimistic. Be confident. But be objective. We're trying to go 1-0. Reggie says, I'm the only one noticed that they're timing Julio's return with an early end of the timetable for Henry to be back. I mean, they put him on IR for 3 weeks, and then you got the bye week, which it was actually a pretty good move. So that gives essentially 4 weeks for Julio to recover, and he'll be ready when Pittsburgh comes around. And then Henry might be slowly coming back too. Vrabel has to be coach of the year at this rate. I'm actually confident about us at New England. Vrabel owns the Pats. Well, we're going to find that out. Why they can't have the Super Bowl in Nashville instead of LA? Because the NFL tries to have the Super Bowl in different cities. It's a neutral game. And they've been doing that since ancient times. Well, since they really became the NFL. When they became the NFL, they started having it at neutral sites. So LA was this year. I believe next year's Super Bowl is in, I want to say New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken, or Houston. They always have it at a neutral site. So you can't have it where it's at a home team stadium because you don't want to give the home team too big of an advantage. Now, the Patriots, now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defied the odds and became the first team in NFL history to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. So for the Bucs, it was essentially a home game for them. Javon Curse will be the 12th Titan. Yep, I did hear that. Let's see. Making sure y'all see me back. I think Olastruck said that I froze. So do y'all see me? Let me make sure y'all see that. Mark Sumter, should we shut Julio down to the playoffs, or should we play him as soon as he's available? No, I wouldn't shut him down for the rest of the year. That's why they're shutting him down now, kind of get that hamstring together and needs time to rest. I think he'll be back before the end of the year. This is why we need a dome. At least a retractable roof. Although I did like the flyover with the helicopters during the national anthem. That was beautiful. Going to be awesome to see both of these amazing men inducted to the Ring of Honor. Talk about Coach Fisher and GM Floyd Reese. Yeah. What do you think about the navy jersey tops and baby blue? I actually like the combination. I don't mind that at all. The blue, navy blue on top of light blue, I'm good with it. The all white, the icy white Stormtrooper, I love that. The all navy blue, I love that. I don't mind blue on top of, I don't mind, well, we don't usually do well when we put navy blue on top of white. I don't mind light blue on top of white. Now, all navy blue is still growing on me. That's probably one I don't like, and I probably don't like white on top of light blue. I like white on navy blue, but I don't mind that combination. Hang on to the football in the rain. I agree. I want us to go 14-3 because that's my preseason prediction, but I think 13-4 is good enough to win. I think 13-4 is good enough too. And Jameson says playing outdoors makes us tougher. I agree. I don't mind that. Can't let this become the Jets game. Yeah. Let's go 1-0 each week. Exactly. So the next Super Bowl is in Phoenix. Thank you for clarifying that for me, Josh. Thank you. And yeah, I think they learned from the Super Bowl in New York. They're not going to play in cold weather stadiums, and it does get cold. Now, if they do a retractable roof or something like how Miami has it set up, okay, that might work. You know, have a retractable roof and you can open it up if it's hot, but if it's cold, close that sucker. And then maybe, you know, have like a parajumper come in from the outside. You can open it up and somebody just drops in. Maybe. So we'll definitely have to see about that. But let's go ahead and let's get to previewing this Houston Texan team. And then we're going to get ready to call it a night. So you have, this is the highlights from the Saints game before. We were outgained in every facet, but we controlled time of possession and made some timely plays against the Saints. So really not worried about that. But here against Houston, the Titans offensively, 5th scoring offense. So we're still 5th scoring offense even without Derrick Henry. 7th against the run. We've dropped a few spots. Obviously, that's the Derrick Henry effect. The passing game has come up a bit. We're at 23, and we moved up to 17th, or we're down to 17th offensively. But I think that's going to come up. And the 29 sacks allowed is not great, but it's not horrible. The Texans, on the other hand, one of the worst offenses in the league. Last in scoring, last in total defense. next to last against the run, and 29th against the pass. Our defense should have a field day. And Tyrod Taylor in his last game against the Dolphins threw 3 picks. Defensively, Texans aren't much better. 29th scoring defense, so they give up points. Their 30th total defense, 31st, they're next to last against the run, and now they're 18th against the pass, but I think there's some opportunities, and they're -3 in turnover differential. Whereas the Titans, defensively, 15th in points allowed, which is kind of where you want to be in the middle of the pack. 21st in total defensive yards. We moved up to 7th against the run, giving up under 100 yards a game. Now, the pass defense did take a step back. Trevor Siemian had a nice day. But the Titans have 27 sacks, nearly almost 8 sacks more than what they had all of last year. And the turnover differential went from like around -6. Now we're at +2, which is really, really good. And so the Texans' last game, they lost to the Dolphins 17-9. Tyrod Taylor threw for 240 yards, but threw 3 interceptions in his first game back starting. The running game really didn't do much. Their top target was Brandon Cook, 6 catches, 56 yards, and he has 84 targets on the year, which is almost 3 times more than the next person who only has 30 targets, and I believe that's David Johnson, the running back. Now, the Texans did have 4 sacks on the Dolphins. Jordan Jenkins had his first 1.5 sacks, and Jonathan Greenard from Florida has 7 sacks to lead the team. Now, they did force 5 turnovers, 2 interceptions and 3 forced fumbles that they recovered. So one thing about the Texans, they are opportunistic as far as trying to get turnovers and everything. So that's something that we're going to have to be mindful of. And that leads us into the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. So now it's time for the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. And this is what I believe they could do to get another win over the Houston Texans. And Jameson, you're right. Can't overlook them. Cannot overlook them at all. The old Oilers jerseys are cool, and I can't wait to see them play in those. A gray one. Nah, not going to do gray. If they do any other jersey color, it's probably going to be, they'll probably do the Oilers, and they'll probably do red. Red, I think, is what we're going to do. Lease is up in 2030 with the city of Nashville. Do we plan to upgrade the stadium or build a new stadium? It looks like they've been doing a lot of upgrading to the stadium. I wouldn't mind if they build a new stadium, but I don't know where they would put it. That's the question. I don't know if they demolish the stadium where it is. Maybe they play at Vanderbilt. Maybe they play at Vanderbilt for a year, or they play at the soccer stadium, kind of like what the Chargers did. Maybe play at the soccer stadium for a year or so until the new stadium is built. So, I mean, there are options. They could play at Vanderbilt, or they could play at the new soccer stadium until new Nissan Stadium is built, if they decide to go that route. Texans can play spoiler. That's what they're probably going to try to do, is play spoiler. Rashawn Weaver's court case been postponed a second time, facing a misdemeanor simple assault charge. Hearing is now January 19th. And now, I was thinking about that, listening to one of the shows. I'm like, I haven't heard anything else about the Rashawn Weaver court case. And now we see why. So, I mean, maybe we'll see about that. Titans are good at finishing games and pulling out the close games. A good trade come playoff time. Mark Jones. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, and that's true. So here is point number 1. Attack mode. Urgent attack mode. Show a sense of urgency and attack. Get this offense going early and dominate against a really bad defense. But we need to protect Tannehill and protect the football. And with it being that rain is in the forecast, protecting the ball is going to be extremely important in this game. Very important. Which also leads me to number 2. Run amok. Get the running game together. The Texans are 31st against the run. Get Deontay Foreman going and sprinkle some AD. And for this offense, this game is the get right game. This is the get your crap together game for the offense. They need to have a good performance. Now, the rain is definitely going to play a role a little bit. Hopefully it is a hard rain. If it's a light rain, you could probably still throw the ball. So probably this week, they are going to probably practice with wet footballs, with slick footballs. And I don't know if they'll practice it some in the rain, depending on how the weather is. But I would, to kind of get yourself ready for that. That would be a good thing. Point number 3 for the defense. I call this Operation Blitzkrieg. Back in World War II, Adolf Hitler and the Germans developed a new tactic of warfare back in 1939 called Blitzkrieg. And it's basically translated into lightning war. Lightning war, which means moving a whole bunch of troops as fast as possible and getting troops to a place as quick as possible, attack and defeat fast. And so one of the historians described it as, if you're attacking the body, you're attacking the nervous system, the brain. You get as far deep into the nervous system or into the brain as quickly as possible, and you disable the brain of a army's defense. He used the anatomy, physiological term, basically in battle. You get to the heart of a army's defense, get into their nervous system, the brain, get there as quickly as possible. If you hit and attack the brain, as Zach Bingham would say, if you cut off the head, the rest of the body will die. If you get into the brain, into the nervous system, the rest of the body can still function, but without that neural system working, the rest of the body cannot fully operate correctly. And so the Texans had a really hard time against Miami, against their blitz, especially when they brought corners from the outside. Nobody picked them up. And that caused Tyrod Taylor to throw interceptions. It caused him to get sacked. And so that's something that we have to do. Launch an assault on Tyrod Taylor, get pressure on him from different places, because they didn't handle the blitz very well. I wouldn't mind seeing Elijah Bolden come on the blitz a couple of times. Get to the heart of them quickly, and the body will fall. And then last but not least, get a good lead on them and don't let up. That was the problem in the second half. We let up. And that's not good. You cannot underestimate this football team. They want to spoil things for us. They have pride. So, take their pride. Demoralize them. And I'm trying to remember, there was a movie with Morgan Freeman, and he was telling somebody, for this particular somebody, all they have is their pride. So, take their pride. And that's what you got to do. Take Houston's pride away from them. Demoralize them. Don't give them any hope. They got guys too, like a Philip Lindsay. They got guys like Zach Cunningham and Greenert in them. They're going to be opportunistic because they can cause the turnover. They caused turnovers in the last game. So they're going to be opportunistic and try to turn the ball over. We can't give them any hope. Put your foot on the gas and don't let up. Get them on the cliff, push them off, and watch them fall. So those are my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Urgent attack mode, run amok, Operation Blitzkrieg, and don't let up, don't underestimate. Those are my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Let me get to some of y'all comments before we get out of here. Yeah. Lean on me, he was good in that. James said, my main key is not to allow the Texans to hang around in the first half and let them think they can pull the upset. I agree. We do need to get AJ turned around. Should have big game sketty, some big spaghetti on the quarterback. Agreed. Touchdowns, not field goals. I agree with that. Break their will. Mar Jones says, attack the head, the body will follow. How many intercepts do you think KB gets? I think he'll get one. I'd run dime a lot. Trilogy Taylor, tighten up true. What's up with you? Al Pierce, I like that one. Run it up, Herman. Leave no doubt. Shut down the Texas period. I agree. Let's see. Yeah, somebody has to stop making plays, I think. I think we will get the run game going. We have to in this game. We got to get the run game going. And Mark says, put them away early. Cut down on the drops. True. So, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. And Brad Hopkins would say, this isn't about winning the football game. This is about kicking their tail. I agree. And so, as I get ready to get out of here tonight, again, if you want some TNT swag, definitely hit me up for the t-shirts. Also for the hats, I can get you with the right people with Miss Latoya and also with my guy Out the Crib Customs. If y'all want the TNT shirts and also the hats. And again, make sure y'all keep sharing the show and hit that like button and everything. And I thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, thank you, everybody, for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. My Blue Bombshell, I kind of already talked about it earlier. I'm really sad with all the crime that's happening in this city. Something has to be done to stop this senseless violence. And this is everywhere around the world. Stop with this police brutality. Stop with all this looting, all this violence. We got to come together, y'all. We do. We have to come together. And we have got to find a way to get this right. Stop with all this senseless violence. You ain't got to, there's too many cowards out here in this world who just think if you disagree with somebody or you have an issue with somebody, you need to pick up a gun and go kill somebody. That's not how you handle things. Back when I was a little bit younger, shoot, back in the day, if you have a problem with somebody, you put your dukes up and you go at it. You go at it, you fight or whatever, and then once the fight is over, win or lose, you get up, you both get to walk away, and you squash it. You end it, and you move on. That's how it should be done. We got too many punks. We got too many bitchs. And I'm calling guys that too, that want to be cowards and want to go pick up a gun and shoot somebody unarmed who they have an issue with. So we got to get it together, y'all, as a country and as a world. And so I just need to get that off my chest. Again, congratulations to Coach Fisher and congratulations to the late GM Floyd Reese. I got to meet him personally and his lovely wife, Miss Sally. Class act individuals. I met them at the Wild Horse Saloon, and it was before the Titans played the Chiefs in the playoff game. Mariota threw the ball to himself. Class act. I've talked to the GM quite a few times on Jared and the GM, and just a class individual. Should have been in the Ring of Honor a long time ago. Well deserved. But y'all, and by the way, I have something very special coming up for Ladies Night in a couple of weeks. Y'all might want to tune in. So tell your female Titan fans, y'all better check this out. Because I have a huge special guest that's going to be coming on. And I guarantee you, it's going to be fun. So, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I'm your man, the Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. And everybody, let's get out of here and tighten up. Because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.